Conor, you will have sex with men and LGBTQ people too?
I'm open to having a variety of relationship contact with any gender. I'm open to a lot of different options.
It doesn't matter if a man or a woman or a drag queen or anything?
No, I think it really matters more about how we connect. And that might have to do somewhat with, if I'm attracted physically to them. But it also has to do with a lot of other elements and components.
Right,
and I think one thing that you bring up that is important for us maybe to talk about.
Yeah, I really want to talk about
is the idea around sex and polyamory. And maybe a misconception that polyamory means you're having sex, specifically intercourse with a lot of different people.
Or even just sexual interactions.
Right.
Whereas I think a big draw for us in this undefined relationships is being able to have any sort of relationship that feels authentic for us with another person. And a lot of times that doesn't involve sex, or maybe it involves certain types of physical intimacy, or maybe it's intellectual intimacy, or just really being able to tap into what feels alive for us with another person and organically let that unfold.
That's amazing. And so have you been with LGBT or women before, sexually?
Yes, well, I mean, LGBT is a lot of different things at once, but yes, I feel like
Wow.
we've both had a lot of different experiences.
You too, Conor?
Yes.
You've been with LGBT?
Yes,
You don't look like you would do that.
I mean, I guess that's maybe a part of the reason that I want to talk about it, is because I think that this exists in a lot of different people. And one of the things that Brittany and I are really excited about is unboxing that stuff and getting rid of the shame around it, so that we can really be as authentic as we want to be in a safe and healthy way.
And so I'm understanding, Brittany, you made the point that it doesn't mean you're out there having a whole lot of sex with all different people.
Right.
It just means that if you met someone that you liked and they liked you and you guys agreed, that it was okay to go do it.
Exactly, without the idea, in other relationship structures, right, where that would be I would be cheating on you, or it would be...
Yeah, and not only is it okay, it's encouraged that we both want for one another's and really everybody's full authentic expression, and we love to support each other in that, because it feels like not only is it a benefit to Conor when he experiences whatever types of relationships he's craving, but it's a benefit to me too.
Right.
How is it a benefit to you?
I really feel like everybody being the fullest expression of themselves is a benefit to the world. And I find that with Conor, the more you can be more of your full self, the more you grow, the more we grow. And anything that it could bring up for me that might be uncomfortable is things that I've decided, I really want to work through that, or I want to understand myself better.
That is so interesting. I'm glad you guys are here.
Thanks for having us.
Have you ever walked in, Conor, and found Brittany having sex with somebody else?
No, that hasn't happened yet.
How would you handle that?
Let's say that
because she's not cheating. It's not like she's cheating. You already have an agreement. How would you think you don't know until it happened, but how do you imagine you would handle that? You walked in and they're Brittany all moaning and carrying on with someone.
I don't know. I mean, I probably have a few different emotions come up all at once.
Yeah.
Just because we've been practicing this style of relationship doesn't mean that we don't feel jealousy or feel mixed emotions. But I definitely feel really excited when you are connecting with other people. I feel turned on by it. I feel turned on both sexually and emotionally and mentally, that, like you said, I know you're getting your needs met. I know this is something you're choosing. I know this is you following through with a need or a want. And so that element excites me. And then additionally, I love watching you with other people, getting turned on. It's a turn on for me. So I don't know what exactly that would look like, but I imagine it would be pretty mixed.
It would be shocking.
It might be, yeah.
And also, we're really intentional about how we set up plans.
Indeed.
So I don't think that it would necessarily come up. I mean, maybe it would, but without it being something that was oh, this is going to be a fun surprise, and you could join in.
Right.
Have you ever walked in on Conor have you ever walked in on Conor having sex with someone else?
Well, there was one time that we were sharing in more of a 3-person relationship, so we were all having
sex together?
I love how you keep saying having sex. It's definitely a part of it, but I think there's so much to the relationship.
Right. So just for me to understand, if more than
that was
just
an important part of it.
When you say you guys were sharing, meaning that there were more than 2 of you in the relationship together.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so there were 3 of us, and I also one of my biggest turn-ons is you with other people. And so I feel like it was kind of, that was known, they both knew that, and I went to take a shower and was like really hoping that you guys were hooking up in the other room.
Really?
And indeed you were. So
Yes.
I got to like walk in and
And
kind
you
of
joined
observe
in?
yeah, first I wanted to observe for a while, and then I got to experience it
So
too.
you like in there taking a shower?
I was
and
just
you're
thinking
hoping,
about
I'm
them.
hoping that they're doing this.
Yeah, totally.
And then you walk out the shower and there he is.
Dreams come true.
And you're like, oh, let me join this.
Yeah, but first I wanted to watch for a while.
Oh, you watched it for a while?
Yeah.
Wow. And you knew she was watching?
Yeah.
Isn't that a turn on knowing she's watching?
It is, yeah.
Really?
And we knew that that was something that excited you, so we sort of, had this idea like, okay, let's do this while she's in the shower, and it'll be this kind of thing. So,
Wow. And so the people that you meet, they're already into polyamorous relationships, and they're already in that mindset, right?
It's pretty much,
most of the time, the
Yeah.
people that we link up with tend to be on that same wavelength in one way or another. We did have someone of a relationship recently where the person had been coming from a more traditional monogamous background, but we were all very communicative, and she was very aware of what she was kind of stepping into and exploring. So it's either people who have experience or are looking to experience open relationship
Is there like
dynamics.
a area or community where this is going on, where people hang out so you like kind of already know?
I feel like in a way there
In a
are.
way.
Yeah, we tend to travel and host different events and are a part of different events that attract people who are like really into health, full body health, and tend to be really open-minded. And where we live a lot of the year, in Austin, Texas, there's a lot of people who
Is that where you
share
live in Texas?
Most of the
mostly,
time,
yeah.
Oh,
We've
okay.
been traveling around a lot, but there is a big community, I would say, in Austin, and I think in other places in the world. And we do get the question a lot from people who maybe are interested in polyamory, and they're like,
Yeah,
how
where
do
do I
you
find them?
people?
Right.
The more that we started opening up to others about our relationship, the more that we found we were encountering others who were interested. So
Yeah, and now with a YouTube channel, it's quite easy.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, I saw that. One last question about that, I think. So, Conor, if you walked in, Brenda's in the room with a guy, right? You go jump in the shower, you're like, oh, I'm all excited about this. and so would you go and get in bed and have sex with the guy too, or just Brittany?
well, again, it just depends person to person. I'm not necessarily caught up on him being male or female or transgendered or whatever, but more like, do I have an attraction for this human being? So I wouldn't necessarily say I'm not going to have sex with that person because they have a penis.
Right.
But I also wouldn't probably just have sex with a kind of random person.
Right,
That's
okay.
not really how we do it. Some people do, and I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong with that, but we tend to really like to have a connection, an established emotional connection, mental connection before experiencing intercourse.
How did you become this way? A polyamory person?
Yeah, we both had really long-term monogamous relationships. Mine was actually
Yeah,
12
that's
years.
going to be my next question. Have you ever been in a monogamous
Yeah.
relationship?
Yeah, mine was from the age of 16 until I was 28. And I really thought that was it for me, and I was going to have a child with that person, and I just thought that was forever. And then she separated with me, and it wasn't my choice, and it was very heartbreaking.
Yeah.
And I also, through that process, got an opportunity to re-explore what I really wanted in my life. And relationships to me are one of the most important aspects of living. So I got to re-examine what is it I really want in relationship. And ultimately I found I wanted love, support, I wanted freedom. And those elements happen to work really well with our relationship structure.
And so you, after this breakup with this person, you decided, I'm gonna be in love, but I'm gonna be able to do what I want, kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
it was an unfolding process that took maybe up to 2 years or so before I kind of maybe said it like that to myself. It was kind of a learning, an unfolding, but that was eventually the conclusion I got to, yeah.
Amazing. And how did you become this way?
Yeah, I guess similar in that I experienced a lot of monogamy in my life. I had a lot of like long-term partners in monogamous relationships, and I also felt like from a young age I was naturally attracted to multiple people, and when I was younger would like kind of have relationships with different people, and it felt really normal to me. But then like at different times it felt like, oh, I can't fully express myself because that would be like cheating. And but it feels like I have enough space to love this person and love this person, and so I feel like it was naturally in there for me as from a young age. And then I also had like a long-term partnership. I was married for a while, and when that ended, I felt like it was a really good relationship, and I decided to change, like to walk away from it, because I felt like it wasn't everything I wanted. I couldn't live like the life I fully wanted. And I felt like if I'm gonna leave this thing that's really good, then I'm gonna have like everything that I want. And a part of what I found was that like I really wanted the freedom, and I really wanted to be able to like choose each day what I was doing and not feel like I was being held back by some sort of rules or structure that didn't fully resonate with me.
So that means that you were in a long-term relationship, a monogamous relationship, and while in that relationship, you were desiring other people. You wanted to be, but you couldn't because you felt that if you did it, you would be cheating.
Yeah.
And so once that relationship ended, you said no more relationship like that.
Yeah, and the bigger thing that felt like was like no more boundaries on my life that feel like, and so that was like another extension. Relationships were also really important to me, and another extension of that. And I didn't want to like start another relationship that felt confining.
How old were you when you first started getting into a relationship sexually, when you first had your sexual experience?
14.
14. And how old were you?
Yeah, 14 as well.
At the same age? Oh yeah. What made you do it then at 14? That's real early in life. Why 14?
It felt really like natural for me. I feel I had been experiencing people like physical intimacy with people for a number of years, and I really loved my partner I was with. Not that I feel like it has to be that way, but I just felt really comfortable and excited about it, and my body felt excited about it, and just felt really natural for me.
And how about you? Why 14?
Yeah, I actually think I had a different experience than you.
Yeah, we
where
had different
I really feel like I had maybe some cultural influences of kind of ideas of what being a man was, and I was, going through puberty and really wanted to like be a man and do it early and do it soon, and ended up having sex with this girl who was a couple years older than me. We had done some cocaine. It was like, it wasn't really like a great first time. I didn't have any shame about it at the time. I still don't have necessarily shame about it, but I also feel like I would choose things differently for myself, you know, at that time. But I think it was less about maybe the early age as it was about the circumstances.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did this older woman seduce you, or you seduced her?
No, I think it was quite mutual.
Both of you were high, so everybody looking good.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, and I think we were attracted to each other before that happened. But to add that in, it's like
I've been there, so I understand.
Yeah.
You smoke? Do you smoke pot?
No.
How about you?
No.
Have you ever smoked pot?
Yeah.
Oh, you have? What made you stop?
I never was that interested in it.
I know.
When I was younger, I like tried it. I was curious about the things people are curious about, and it just didn't really do it for me.
How about you? You ever smoke pot?
Yeah, I was a
smoke
big
pot.
pothead. I really got into alcohol for a big chunk of my 20s, drinking every day. I also did a lot of oxy. I did some heroin. I would binge out on pills. So I had a big life change, not just in relationships, but also in health in general. After my relationship, my long one, ended. I took a big look at everything in my life and made some big adjustments. So,
with this long-term relationship, was the woman older or younger?
She's the same age. Actually, I just saw her yesterday. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And she's into polyamory too.
No.
Did you tell her you were?
Yeah, she knows. We're all friends.
Oh yeah. What does she think about that?
Oh, she's cool with it. Yeah. She loves me. I still love her. We're great friends.
Do you still have sex with her?
No.
Oh, don't let your wife know, huh? I mean, no, I'm kidding.
No, yeah, that would be okay with you.
That would be
It would
awesome
be okay?
if it sounded good to you
Would
guys.
you be concerned that he may fall back in love with her and they'll end up going away from you?
I don't have concern about you falling in love with anybody. I mean, if that feels good for you, that sounds great.
What would happen? How would you think you would feel if he fell in love with another woman and decided, I want to go monogamous again, I don't want this anymore? How would you feel about that?
I mean, it's interesting to even imagine, because I feel like from everything I know about you, it's not like something I imagine that would just happen, that like you'd walk out the door the next day and suddenly like all these things you've been feeling would shift. Right. So I imagine if that were something that would naturally unfold, there would be things leading to it. So like over time I would get the sense like, okay, it seems like having these style relationships isn't resonating with you as much, and you would be kind of talking to me about what was exciting you, and I like ultimately really feel like whatever you want, I totally support you in.